Imagine walking outside one morning and noticing something strange. The air feels heavy. The wind has died completely. The clouds are frozen in place. You check the time, yet the sun hasn't moved at all. That's when the truth hits you. Earth has stopped spinning. We take our planet's rotation for granted. Every 24 hours it carries us quietly around once, giving us sunrise, sunset, day, and night. But if that motion stopped, even for a moment, everything on the surface would keep moving, just like passengers flung forward when a car slams on the brakes. At the equator, the ground moves about 1,870 kilometers per hour, faster than a jet. If the planet suddenly stopped, every ocean, building, tree, and human would continue at that speed. The air itself would become a wall of wind. Skyscrapers would snap, cities would tear apart, and whole continents would be scraped clean. Mountains wouldn't budge, but everything not anchored deep into rock would fly eastward for hundreds of kilometers. The oceans would surge out of their basins, slamming across land in tsunamis taller than anything Earth has ever seen. Coastlines would vanish within minutes. If the rotation slowed gradually instead of stopping instantly, the violence would be less, but the consequences still unthinkable. Day would last half a year. Night the same. Half the planet would bake beneath unending sunlight, the other would freeze in eternal darkness. The side facing the sun would become a desert world. Oceans there would boil away, leaving salt flats and dried coral skeletons. The dark side would fall below 100 degrees. Air would freeze solid, snowing dry ice. Between them, along a narrow twilight band, storms would rage forever as hot air met cold in a constant struggle. Our atmosphere, now unbalanced, would begin to migrate. The thickest air would drift toward the poles, leaving the equator thin and almost unbreathable. Tornado-force winds would circle the planet endlessly. Each sunrise would come as a slow explosion of heat and lightning. Without rotation, the magnetic field would collapse. That invisible shield, powered by the spinning of Earth's molten core, keeps cosmic radiation away. Without it, the solar wind would strip away our upper atmosphere over time, the way it did to Mars. Satellites would drift off path. GPS would die. Communication systems would fall silent as charged particles flooded the sky. The northern lights would spread across the entire globe, beautiful but deadly. Tides would change too. Right now, the moon and sun tug at the oceans, and Earth's spin evens it out. Without rotation, water would flow toward the poles, forming two enormous seas and leaving a dry belt around the equator. Places like Indonesia, Brazil, and Central Africa would turn to endless deserts. The Arctic and Antarctic would drown beneath kilometers of new ocean. Human civilization would fracture quickly. The only survivable regions would lie near the line between day and night, a thin strip of twilight where temperatures hover just above freezing. People would chase that moving line, building cities on its edge as the planet slowly rebalanced itself. Over centuries, tectonic stress from the shift in mass would reshape continents. Earthquakes would be constant. Volcanoes would roar back to life, their ash spreading into the dark sky. Eventually, the atmosphere would thin, temperatures would stabilize, and a new kind of planet would emerge. Quiet, half-lit, barely alive. Plants might adapt first. On the bright side, new heat-resistant species would evolve to survive constant sunlight. In the darkness, fungi and chemosynthetic bacteria would thrive on geothermal vents. Life always finds a way, just not the kind we know. From space, Earth would look utterly alien, one blazing hemisphere, one frozen, and a glowing golden ring in between. Auroras would shimmer like scars along the boundary. The once blue planet would become half red, half white. Could we ever start the spin again? Theoretically, if an enormous asteroid struck at the right angle, it could give Earth a push, but it would also vaporize most life. Our best hope would be adaptation, not repair. Eventually, after millions of years, friction within the core might restart a slow rotation. Days would shorten from months to weeks, then days again. A new rhythm of sunrise and sunset would return, but the world would be unrecognizable. Perhaps descendants of whatever survives would look at the dim, distant sun and tell myths of the time the sky stood still. It sounds terrifying, but there's a strange beauty in it too. The same motion that brings us dawn also keeps the entire planet alive. Every breath, every wave, every breeze exists because Earth spins. So next time you see the sunrise or the stars drift across the night sky, remember, they're not moving. We are. And that constant motion is the quiet heartbeat of our world.